Hello, and welcome back to Crits and Coffee, where we're brewing adventures. I'm BearlyCaffeinated, your dungeon master and host for Phandelver and Below, the Shattered Obelisk. Let's introduce my beautiful players. We have BakaZombie.
Hello, I'm BakaZombie, and I'm a weird color today because I have a new webcam that's not set up yet. So hello. Hey, I'm playing Faenya, the Centaur Druid, Blighted Centaur Circle, Blighted Circle Druid. If you want to see more of me, follow me on Twitter at ZombieBaka. You can see everything I do there, including YouTube videos, Twitch streams, and other shows such as Glory of the Giants on Summoner's Den, and other things. Thank you for having me. I hope we have a good game today.
Very good. Next up, we have Dr. Phage.
Hi, I'm Dr. Phage or Adam. You can find me on Twitter at Little Growth, which has all the other things that I'm on. I'm also on Glory of the Giants, on Gluttony and Earth, that Bumble hosts. And then that's the only things that I'm on. That's right. But tonight I'm playing Mal, the Tiefling Monk. I almost said wizard. I don't know why I thought wizard. I'm not a wizard at all.
You know who is a wizard? It's Kyle.
Whoa. Hey, my name's Kyle. Today I'll be playing a tiefling sorcerer named Amaris. But if you want to find me, look at your garbage can at night. I don't know. I don't have anything funny to say.
And lastly, it's the hash-slinging slasher himself, Bumbleskum.
That means. I'm Bumbleskum. I am on the show. I am playing Shadow. He is a thug, fist for hire. And I have my own show called Gluttony and Earth on my own podcast called The Interdimensional Library, in which I also struggle to introduce Kyle at the end of every episode.
That is the same episode, right? Taking out the trash at night and the hash-slinging slasher. I'm not crazy. Okay. Yes. Anyway, on to more important things. A quick little, I almost said intro, a quick little recap based on what happened in the last events. Our party had captured Glassstaff, who was found out to be hiring the Red Brands to do some deeds around town, protecting the villagers, and he was captured and sent to the jail in Phandalin. There, Harbin Wester was also arrested for being in cahoots with Glassstaff, which I believe I forgot to mention last time, but that's why he was arrested as well. And our party had a little interrogation, got quite a bit of information out of Glassstaff, and then went to sleep and had a couple of dreams, and they are now waking up in the inn of Phandalin, which is a name, the Stonehill Inn. So you all wake up. Is there anything you guys do before heading down to breakfast or downstairs?
Move the furniture out from in front of the door.
All right, Fenya's moving the furniture away. Mal, what are you doing?
I think Mal, after having his dream about the dragon deity Tiamat that he may or may not have previously been associated with, realizes that he kind of needs to accept that he needs to just be a little bit more powerful, and remembers kind of what is needed, what would have been needed to be fully initiated into the cult. So he goes into his pack, takes out a small, almost like a prayer booklet, but it's more hand bound than anything official. And takes out the vial of dragon bile that he collected from Yarno's alchemy lab. And with the bile and the prayer book, slowly starts tracing what seems to be like invisible lines on his tattoos that like totally black out his hands and arms. Starting with his pinky, and he is chanting in Draconic the names of ancient white dragons, and then moving up his fingers to ring with black, green, blue, and then red on his thumb on each of his hands. Again, going through all of these ancient dragon names to draw upon their power. And as he finishes it, his tattoos are no longer blackout tattoos, but of the various colors of the dragons, now multicolored across his arms.
Yeah, that's really cool. I wasn't expecting that. Very cool. And in fact, Dr. Phage, I'm going to give you a inspiration just because I thought that was really cool.
Thanks.
Anybody else?
I don't have anything cool like that. I don't know. Mars wakes up, brushes her hair, brushes her teeth.
She's got a cake in the oven. Pulls it out. All right. If nothing else, you guys head downstairs and you can see Toblin, the innkeeper, is talking to Glassstaff at the bar. Or sorry, not Glassstaff, Sildar.
I was like, he's arrested.
That's just my tired brain. That's no doppelganger nonsense. As you guys approach Glassstaff, sorry, wow.
It's just him.
Is there something that you're trying to like allude to that's gonna happen, or
it's just me? I'm just stupid and
Okay.
tired.
Is this what they
It is
call
Sildar.
foreshadowing?
I think what Shadow will do is he's gonna go up to Glassstaff. No, I'm just gonna go to the. I'll go and I'm just gonna order breakfast.
Man.
Breakfast and a brew.
All right, and Toblin starts
In the morning?
whipping up.
I don't
Yeah,
like this.
a brew, coffee. And Toblin starts whipping up your order.
Coffee stout.
Sildar turns to all of you. Well, good morning. How are you all feeling?
Refreshed. It was a good sleep.
Good.
Mars is glowing. Everyone else is just had a shitty night.
Well, I'm glad you guys all had a good night here at the inn. I have some news. And he'll pull out a folded up letter. And he'll open it up and places it on the bar and kind of slides it towards you. The Lord's Alliance isn't able to send anyone out here to Phandalin to retrieve Glassstaff, and have instead asked that the party who captured him take him to Neverwinter to be incarcerated and to be rewarded. And as you read the letter, it's specifically asking for the party who captured Glassstaff to take him to Neverwinter to be incarcerated. It also says the rewards are of magic items.
Well, now that you said that.
Well, it was like a week journey to get here the first time, wasn't it?
Roughly. It was like 5 or 6
So
days.
we're looking at 2 weeks of Gundar kind of abandoned in a castle at this point.
Is this? Do they? Is he do we need to do this right away? Like, or is he like okay to be in the jail? Because it feels like we have like things happening here that need to be taken care of.
Well, Glassstaff is a wizard, and there's currently nothing really stopping him from using his magic. And perhaps there's even more information that they could pull from him. Maybe not. But perhaps there's information that the Lord's Alliance could also help you with as well.
We
don't really have a lead on Gundren yet, either.
Well, to be fair, I was thinking maybe we would go back to find these goblins' cave and see if they had any leadership there, since the bugbears be working with them. I thought maybe we could be getting some info out of them, maybe if they're a little bit more closely associated, being Cragmaw clan.
You know where their cave is?
We were ambushed. We know where we marked where they likely were when we got ambushed the first time, if we recall. They ran off a specific direction, and we made a marker, at least, on the trail for where we thought we would be heading up for. If you really know what you're looking for, it's not too hard to find a goblin establishment.
It will also help, because if they are working together, then if we're transporting Glassstaff, they may ambush us anyways along the trail, and then we'll kind of like taking care of that threat before we head out with the valuable prisoner.
Well, and I think that may be the fear, too, by Glassstaff sitting here and no current militia to protect us. Phandalin itself could be attacked. And the Lord's Alliance can't send out any other help.
Okay, I have a proposition then. Something that's been working around in my noggin. So I was thinking maybe what you do here is, if we're spending 2 weeks transporting this guy for y'all, perhaps you could be spending that time making friends with the local orc tribe. Because frankly, we helped save their kin. No thanks to the mayor, we did all of that for him. I was thinking maybe if the time comes, they could help us out if we're sieging a castle of some sort. At least they could do is distract them for us.
I think that's a wonderful idea.
Helps them spend time mobilizing, I suppose, you know. I just, if it does, I do think we, need to get researching on this place. It's just 2 weeks in the dark feels very... Gundren seemed very excited to get to work on whatever it was that, days ago. So it just bothers me a bit thinking that 2 weeks alone with whatever, they're going to just get what they want before we ever make a chance to get to them. Or at least the orcs could be looking out for the place. Something. They probably have more manpower. They seem to be willing to full force come and throw a giant boulder at the tavern already, so I think they might have enough energy within them.
Well, I can definitely reach out to them. If we have leads, then perhaps we should start there and I can send a denial back to them. The higher-ups may not be happy, but they'll have to get their own help out here as we rebuild Phandalin.
Can I do... Because I believe we've seen Sildar's handwriting before. I think at least. I like a combination insight of like how legitimate this letter seems, and also like Sildar himself, because this seems slightly not out of character, but like he was very concerned about Gundren before this, and now he's like, don't worry about it. We'll just like hang out for a few weeks while you do this.
Yeah, roll me I'll say a DC 12 insight.
17.
Yeah, this isn't Sildar's handwriting.
Okay.
What you
As expected.
Yeah. If you want to do a history check on like alliances and things like that, I'd say a DC 10 is easily enough.
I got an 11 on that.
Okay. Yeah, they have ways to send letters very quickly, whether it's through, pigeons, osprey hawks, whatever it be. So they can get this information out pretty quick. But you can tell that this isn't his handwriting, and there's actually even a seal from Lord Neverember.
Okay. And Sildar himself seems on the up and up, based off of like how we've interacted with him before.
Yeah, I mean, his general attitude is that, he feels an obligation towards his duty, that he needs to look after Phandalin right now. He still seems concerned and worried. Like, he still wants to get to Gundren as quickly as he can, but he also seems concerned about this entire situation.
Yeah, he's like putting this more official duty over his like personal interest in rescuing Gundren and like figuring out whatever Gundren was doing. Okay. I mean, I guess. I mean, if that's like the right thing to do. Yeah, I mean, I am also still just worried about everything that's going on here, that we're just going to be gone for a while then.
Well, my goal while you were all gone is to try to get some militia to protect our town and start figuring out anything to help find Gundren. You can reach out to the orcs and perhaps they have some information for us. I don't know their exact whereabouts, but I hope they would have some information of this area. And I'm certain that they would be willing to help us.
How does everyone else feel about this?
I have concerns. Fenya's ears have been twitching back and forth as she contemplates this. Head moving side to side.
Well, what are your concerns, Faenya?
Well, I don't mean to speak against your wishes for the group, but this is the closest I've gotten to getting information on the Blight. I'd hate to lose any follow-ups to that by going to a city I've never been to. Not to mention the biggest social establishment I'd ever be in.
I suppose that's fair. What about the rest of you?
Well, I'm a man of my contract, you see. My number one priority right now is the job I've been hired for with Gundred, and as you know, that's probably my top priority when I'm working, is to deal with that. And I agree, we don't have a great sense of leads, and that's why I was looking to hunt down the Cragmaw clan to see if we could get more from them. As long as you're putting in your work, if you're making us go on, because I don't give a rat's ass about no Lord's Alliance or whatnot. It doesn't bother me none. I don't really care about his justice or whatever. He's supposed to do whatever. As far as I know, he can rot in the ground. If we're going off and doing this fancy work for you, when we've got this whole thing going on for us, my concern is that you are doing everything you can to further the job you're interrupting for me.
Well, you have my word that Gundren is a dear friend of mine, and I want nothing more than to know his whereabouts.
We all slowly turn to him.
Well, I think about it. That goblin that you brought to the jail, he keeps spewing about how he can help.
Would he know where the castle is?
I'm not
I
sure.
doubt it.
So
We
if
can
you-
put him on a leash, have him bring us back to the house at least.
Yeah, he may know where the goblins are that ambushed us. He may have come from that.
Very possible. Maybe you could find some information from him. And we can decide what to do from there.
Yeah, I think pull back from Sildar a little bit to have more of like a conversation just amongst ourselves. Because it feels like we have a couple of things to kind of hammer out before we decide either way what we're going to be doing.
Okay. So you guys find your own table, or are you going like?
Well, I ordered food, so I assume as soon as that gets brought out for me,
You just
We'll just
start
go to our
eating
own
it and
table.
walk away from Sildar.
Yeah, I don't think we need to go up to our own rooms, but just like a different table in the main area.
Okay.
Just give us a bit of time to contemplate, just a bit.
Very well. I understand it's a lot to process. And he'll turn back to talking to Toblin as you guys head over to your table.
I'll say this. If us being gone for 2 weeks means that Gundren's dead by the time we find him, I will be tying up some loose ends in town. I don't appreciate people ruining my professional reputation.
Well, we don't even know if Gundren's still alive.
I feel like he is. I don't. If they've got all their sneaky doppelgangers and whatnot around here, I think if what they're gonna do is just extract something from him and kill him, they could have done it when he was in town. I think they want him for something still. I think they're probably keeping him as a source still. If I had to imagine, I don't know why else they would go through such troubles.
Sorry. How long have you been in this town?
3 days, 4 days?
Yeah, it's like 3 or 4 days.
That's plenty of time to extract information and...
Well, I don't think that they've gotten what they wanted yet, because otherwise I don't think we'd be in this situation with Glassstaff.
I know. I'm looking at this objectively. We don't know Gundra's whereabouts or well-being. We know it's in the castle, or they're in the castle, but where? Where is that castle? We don't have... The goblin might be able to help, but that's not a guarantee. Also, if we leave to go to get help from the Lord's Alliance, that's at least one guarantee that we'll be helping people out instead of us searching for a possible dead body. I know that we got hired to escort Gundren, but we've obviously failed at escorting since he's not with us. We either sacrifice time to look for Gundren with no leads at all, or sacrifice the people in this town that's plagued with doppelgangers and possible vengeance from the Red Brands and other parties associated with Glassstaff.
What I'm concerned about with this too, though, is that either we are just going to get ambushed then transporting Glassstaff to Neverwinter, which we may or may not be able to fend off. We've had mixed results with encounters with this group of people. Or, depending on what their information sources are, they may not know that Glassstaff isn't here anymore and attack the town anyways when we're not here.
Yeah.
And so we're still gone for 2 weeks, and they have attacked the town trying to find Glassstaff anyways.
Yeah.
I think
we are
I think
in
there's
a pickle.
still a couple of things we can do here before we commit to bringing Glassstaff to Neverwinter. I think there's like maybe a day or two of trying to figure out some things here before we commit to a very long journey, and a journey that doesn't benefit all of us equally. And he'll kind of like look in motion over to Faenya with that. Faenya wasn't hired for any of this. This isn't her fight to deal with. So that's not fair to her to take that much of her time for something that she wasn't hired on for, unlike us.
And then, of course, we have to worry about how expansive the undead are getting in the area. We don't know exactly if that's going to spread to us.
There's there's Mal is going to whisper this. There's some other stuff we should talk about, but I don't want to talk about it in the inn.
Were they charging you unfair prices?
No.
Amaris. You're gonna hear Amaris. You're not gonna see her mouth move.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to talk about it here?
Mal screams in your head, "There's a dragon nearby! It's bad! There's a dragon! There's a..."
There's a what?
Mal will then continue to say out loud, yeah, I think there's a few things we should take care of first. Definitely talking to the goblin. But I think we're safe to spend a day or two here still before we, again, commit to 2 weeks of travel. Yeah, I mean, they're going to give us stuff, but it's...
As long as Glassstaff is guarded and his mouth is gagged and his hands are bound, he won't be able to cast any spells. And if you keep him awake constantly and don't allow him to rest, he won't be able to regain his arcana.
I suppose the
That's
only
more
danger we really
dire.
have is we might have 1+ doppelgangers roaming around that might break him out while we're
That
dealing
would
with
be
other
why we would
things.
need some strong guards, which I think this town lacks, unfortunately.
If this town had strong guards, it was the Red Brands.
That's the problem.
Amaris is just gonna slump down her seat.
If Sildar is here, who's watching him now?
Shed boy.
Oh, and we...
Oh yeah, Shed Boy.
You beat him up pretty easily.
I think Shed Boy and the Goblin are, two sides of the same coin. I think they'll be pretty easy to work for us. They respond to more immediate power than they do structural power.
We might want to make our way to the cells then as soon as we can if we're going to ask the goblin things and make sure that Glassstaff is still in captivity.
Honestly, I think we just, at a minimum, see if this goblin can lead us to information.
Mm-hmm. I
If
would
he
like
can't,
to...
we just spend 2 weeks, and then he organizes the orcs for us to look for stuff or whatever.
I would like to return to the spot of the ambush to see if the spider has caused any blight to spread there. I fear it's already taken root in this forest.
Are we splitting up? Time out.
1 second. All right, so our party heads over to the town master's hall, and as you guys enter the hall, you can see that Fred is actually doing some desk work. Fred the shed boy. He's doing a little bit of office work for Sildar. I keep trying not to say Glassstaff. He's doing stuff for Sildar, and oh hi. Good morning. What can I help you all with?
We would like to talk to the goblin.
Oh, of course. He keeps saying how he can help, I guess. Right this way. And he opens the door back to the jail room and leads you over to this goblin.
Can I, just as we're walking past this desk that he was doing paperwork at, can I just take a peek at what he was doing there?
Sure.
Just a little glance as I'm walking past.
Yeah, just make a, we'll say an investigation check.
Ooh. I don't know why I'm looking. I'm not smart. It's a 15 though.
Okay. Yeah, it looks like he's writing down names of members who were red brands. Potentially, you know, going based off of the information, maybe to try to get them to become militia members and actually do something good with their lives.
Okay. I just like file that away as well. Of like, okay. In his head, he's thinking, Sildar's got a lot of fucking faith in these red brands, in these previous red brands. It doesn't say anything though.
Insert Mulan sequence. Make a man out of you. But yeah, as you guys walk to the back room, you see Glassstaff still in his chair, tied up and with the paper mache, all that stuff. And then next to him, you see the goblin. And he runs to the bars. Oh, master. And he looks at you, Mal.
I forgot he was Droopy
I-
Dog.
I knew that you'd come back for me.
Shadow just has like this permanent disgusted face to him. Like,
Master.
That's that. You don't have to call it that. I'd prefer if you didn't.
Okay, master.
As this interaction is going on, Amaris in the goblin's head is going to say, "Keep doing it."
And as you do this, this goblin looks absolutely petrified.
Who was that? Who's there?
Mal immediately looks over at Amaris.
Amaris
all
is
right,
just
I don't
looking at her
think he's gonna be
nails.
any help now. The dang
Don't-
thing's losing it. I don't think there's gonna be any help.
Poor
What
thing. It must have gone through so much.
what did you want to tell?
Oh, Droop can help you.
How? What do you know?
Oh, well, Droop knows a lot. If you just let me out, I could...
Well, that's not going to happen for right now.
Well, what do you need to know?
Do you know where the bugbears or other goblins are?
Yes, absolutely, I do.
Insight.
Yeah.
Okay, inside him.
That is a 21 insight.
Yeah, me too. I got a 6.
Feels
I
like
got
you're
a
lying,
6.
Kyle.
I got a 6.
He's not lying. He knows where there are bugbears.
In the trees.
Where are they then? Could you show us on a map?
Sure.
I'm going to very roughly like go into the other room and like sketch out a very rough map of like Neverwinter, Phandalin, and then like surrounding forest. Just be like, where are the bugbears?
He'll grab the map, and it's upside down. And he kind of searches around for a second, and he points at the map.
Right there.
Is he pointing at Phandalin?
No, he's just pointing at a random spot on the map.
What's the name of the place where the bugbears have come from?
Well, they were just in that house that I was at with them.
Right.
There are bugbears there.
Right. Do you know another place where the bugbears are?
Oh, yes, of course.
What's the name of that place?
I
And he kind of holds his head for a second.
Shadow reaches in and snatches him by like the neck.
No, master, please save me.
Listen here, boyo. You're gonna answer questions. And you're gonna do it promptly.
I am.
I'm gonna pull him back and slam him against the bars.
Okay. How hard are you doing this?
Whenever I have someone grappled, I can automatically do a D4 at the start of turns.
Okay, roll a d4.
That was my suggestion. Not enough to kill him. I'm just trying to bruise him a bit. I do 4 bludgeoning damage.
Okay. He falls onto the floor with bloodied nose and...
There, a little less blood taking up space in your noggin. Maybe you could free up some thinking space.
I'm answering the best that I can.
Alina Mal just like, he was already grasping to try and answer questions the way you wanted to hear it. I don't know that force is going to help him answer correctly more than just try not to get hurt.
I don't think so either.
I don't think he knows. I think his usefulness is very short-lined.
We could just tie him up. Have him walk us out to his home.
True.
Where were you before the house here? Where were you then?
Oh, well, I was at the castle.
Could you lead us back to the castle?
Yes.
Insight again.
Go ahead.
Oh, using that nifty inspiration I just got. Natural 1. It's an insight of 14.
Yeah.
Is it a he thinks he can show you, or he can? Is the question now we have to ask ourselves.
Yep, that's a good question.
I'd like to do an insight as well, just because clearly Shadow has no patience for this guy. I don't do that. I don't do well at all. I only got an 11.
Yeah.
Guys, let me try something.
Well, he says he can
Amaris.
bring us to the castle, so let's have him just lead us there then. Stop wasting time.
Just let me try something. Just one thing. It'll be quick. Amaris is gonna walk up to the jail cell.
He
Like
scurries
crouch
back.
down. Droop, was it?
Yes, my name is Droop.
Can you come over here? I want to see something.
He kind of sniffs, and then he'll kind of crawl over to the cell, the bars.
Amaris is going to hold out her hand. Can you please place your hand in mine?
He hesitantly brings up his hand and inches slowly and puts his hand in yours.
Droop. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be probing your thoughts. Could you please think of the castle as hard as you can so I can see what you're talking?
I'll try my best.
I cast Detect Thoughts.
Okay.
It is a wisdom save.
Well, you start
Is-
with surface thoughts.
Right. And he's doing it
Yeah,
willingly.
then I'm gonna probe.
Okay, let me make sure I read this correctly. Blah, 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 blah. Search for thoughts with blah, blah, blah.
If his
Okay.
if Droop's intelligence is lower than 3, it's over for me.
No, I think you're
That's like-
fine.
Animals. Most
Yeah.
talking creatures have an intelligence higher than.
I think you're good. So here's okay, I'm going to have you make an intelligence check. And the way we're going to do this is that you're going to make an intelligence check every round. And the DC is going to get higher and higher, but you get more information every single time.
Bro, I'm dumb.
We're all dumb. It's okay. It's what
So-
we've saddled ourselves with on this adventure.
We're going to start easy with the DC 10 intelligence check.
That's easy? Okay, 13.
Okay. So you get a vision, and while you're detecting his thoughts, it's almost as if you're very connected with. It's almost as if you are Droop while you're detecting these thoughts, and you're within this room, and you see these bugbears that are around. There are goblins around. There's bugbears around. There's hobgoblins around, and this bugbear comes up to you and punches you across the face, and you go flying across the room.
I will say, as the start of this, Amaris is holding Droop's hand, and she will intently look into Droop's eyes. And as she casts Detect Thoughts, the black of her eyes goes away, revealing her own brown eyes. But as that darkness leaves, it enters Droop's eyes. As she enters their brain.
Okay. Yeah, so you just had this vision of being in a room. I'll give you a little bit more information. But you are within this room that... Let me see. So to what would have been your right, there were some cots laid out. And to your left, there was a stone wall that's been crumbled down. And of course, this bugbear just punched you across the face. Go ahead and make me another intelligence check. This DC will be a 13.
What the heck? Not 20.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. So in this vision, you can see that Droop is walking around, and he seems to be in a dining hall where there are a lot of other goblins. And you can see that there's a chef serving up food. And based on your nat 20, there are roughly, let me see. I'm going to get you a good number here. There are about 7 other goblins with you in this room. And you all seem to be feasting and eating dinner. And your vision kind of fades. Go ahead and make me another intelligence check. This one will be a DC 15.
Seven.
All right. So as you're in this room eating lunch, or dinner or whatever, you can see that these other goblins seem to be heckling and making fun of you, Droop, and your vision fades, and you can see that Droop is trembling, and you can see some tears welling up in his eyes as well.
I'm sorry, Master. I really tried.
What did you see?
Well, I tried to get the exact location, but I just kept remembering the bugbears bullying me and the other goblins making fun of me.
Amaris is gonna look up to Mal and say, "Yeah, that's as far as I got into his brain. I couldn't get an exact location." She stands up and walks away from jail cell. Somewhere in the woods.
You'll be able to lead us there, though, right, Droop?
I'll try my best.
Mal, make me a medicine check.
Okay. Am I proficient in medicine? That's a great question. I'm not, so that's a 17.
Okay. Based off of that, you're able to tell that Droop maybe has some memory loss. And maybe it's because of these lashings that he's gotten from the bugbears and goblins and hobgoblins that maybe he's just not able to fully remember.
Okay.
But he does seem genuine.
Yeah. I have to go talk to my friends real quick, Droop. I'll be right back. And just try to pull away from him a little bit so that we can talk.
And before you turn away, he kind of holds onto the bars, and his face is in between the bars as you turn around.
I think he can get us at least close to where the castle is. It's better than anything else we have.
If we get closer, I might be able to ask the trees, but they would only know if they are close enough to a tree that'd be growing in a space that it'd be aware of a stone building interrupting its roots. Which I don't know how maintained the castle is, if they would allow trees to grow close enough to know.
If we so happen to get in the right spot, I might recognize something from those memories. It's a very slim chance, though.
Even if we do find it, wouldn't there be a lot of goblins and bugbears?
I counted 7 goblins. But that was within Droop's sight. I don't know if there's more.
So I know they're a lot more organized than they should be. Would I be able to think of maybe how many members might typically be in a clan of goblins like theirs, like Droop's?
So in a band, like a band or a clan of goblins, you would maybe see maybe a maximum of 10.
Okay. Oh, I don't think I'm not too concerned with the numbers. typically in a normal band, you might find upwards of 10 of them. It's hard to really get them to organize too well. I know this whole group is a bit more organized, it seems, especially with the Cragmaw clan ruling over them. But there can't be too many bands of goblins in the area to begin with for them to amass or something like that. If that was the case, they might have done something a bit more drastic than relying on the red brands or something. So I'm not too worried about their numbers, I don't think.
Well, even so, if there's 10 goblins and a couple bugbears, that's more than the 4 of us.
We did hold our own pretty well. The second time we went into the manor, when we were capturing Glassstaff, I
That
think...
was the second time after we already cleared some of them out.
Yeah, but I think what's hurt us before is we haven't been prepared for all of the fights we've been going into. Like, we've been surprised by the combats walking into them. Like when we fought in the bar, we were surprised and we weren't really like ready for it. But when we were ready for them, or at least more ready, again at the end there, we did pretty okay, or at least okay enough. I think even if we don't fight all of them, if we can find where it is and get an idea of how many there are, then we can start to plan for that and then see if it's worth it to defend the town or get Glassstaff out of here, or kind of make a better decision in that way.
I'm on board with that.
Let's do it.
Are you comfortable with that, Faenya?
If this is what you want to do, I can help, yes.
Okay. I think it's a better place to start than immediately going back on the road for a long time. I think this is going to be more useful to start with, at least. I'll turn to Fred then and say, let the goblin out. He's going to be helping us.
Right. I'll let Sildar know as soon as I see him. And he goes over to unlock the cage, and the goblin runs out and attaches to your leg, Mal.
As he attaches to Mal's leg, Amaris is going to speak again into his brain. Remember, if you try to run, I'll know where you are at all times.
Who said that?
He just looks around.
Thank you, Master, for believing in me.
Okay. We should let Sildar know that we're leaving, but I think Droop, how far away is the castle?
Good question for me.
Well, you have to go through the woods, and it's about, when Droop wasn't knocked out, about a week.
A week?
So Gundren's not even at the castle then. Because he had to go out to the manor first, and it's only been a few days since then. So if it takes a week, Gundren's not even there yet.
Because I don't know the topography of this well enough. Like, where is the forest big enough to have like house like to go that far inside of it? Or are we like, how far out from Phandalin is a week that this castle potentially could be? Do you
Hold on,
see like
sorry.
do you get what I'm asking?
Let me math this out really quick, because it took you guys 6 days to get from Neverwinter to Phandalin. And if we're using hexes, I believe that is three hexes per day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I think D&D says you can walk like 20 miles in a normal day at like a normal pace. I think that's the pace they have set out. So like that's a big forest. Not that it can't be that big, but
Okay, so if that's the case, then this would really be like, you say 20 miles?
I think that's what the marching pace is.
It would be like 3 days-ish.
Okay, that feels more reasonable.
Yeah, I think when I initially had us going from Neverwinter to Phandalin, I said about 2 hexes per day, easily enough, but kind of depends on how fast you guys want to go to.
We should make sure that we have enough provisions then for, I mean, this is also going to be a little bit of a march then to try and track this down.
I'll go stock up then.
We should look for horses. Just
Well,
occurred to me, we rode a cart the whole way down here. Even if we were going back to Neverwinter, I think it'd take us way too long if we were walking anyway, so we should find something anyway, I suppose.
Your horses will have a hard time moving through the forest.
No, I that's not what I was. I meant we should be searching. We should be getting that kind of stuff ready, anyways. Because, if we went fast enough, we should be getting that ready for if we need to head to Neverwinter, anyways. Is what I'm saying. Because it's good to know whether or not that's going to take us 2 weeks on foot or whatever it might be.
You could try and procure that oxen cart that you use, so you have something to put Glassstaff in.
That's what I was thinking. We could use that same cart that we rode in on. But we should go let Sildar know. Because hopefully then as well, I mean, if we're going towards the bugbears, then if they're coming towards us to get Glassstaff, we'll meet them in the woods, so we should know if an ambush is coming to the city to try and rescue them. Which they haven't even gotten back to that yet, to let them know that Glassstaff has been captured. If they don't have, like, magic to talk to each other.
Okay. So you guys are heading back to the inn. And I'm sorry that I had to pull it on this map.
before we leave, can I just do one random thing?
Sure.
Detect Thoughts is... Would it still be up at the end of this conversation? It's up for a minute.
Sure.
Up to a minute.
Yeah, sure.
Can I see the surface thoughts of Fred?
How does surface thoughts work?
Whatever they're thinking about on the surface. What's immediately on their mind. Like,
It's the movie Inside.
Pick up the pencil to write this
Yeah,
down.
what's most on his mind in that moment?
I would say at the moment, you see that Fred thinks that you trusting the goblin is a mistake. Like, why would you even bother trusting that
Okay.
goblin?
Big talk from Shed Boy.
Your teeth are kind of black.
And as you guys begin to walk away, Droop lets go of your leg, Mal, and grabs Amaris's hand as you walk out of the town master hall.
Okay, hold on. What the heck? Take your son back.
He's not my son.
This ain't
Also-
mine.
And
Then,
you guys are going back to the Stone Hill Inn.
yes.
Yeah.
So you walk in, and you still see Sildar talking to Toblin at the bar. And he sees you all walk in with Droop. I see you decided to trust the little guy, huh?
Mm.
Yes.
Droop just kind of gives a little smile.
Hey, Drew, can you look over there real quick?
What's over there?
Can I do a sleight of hand to replace my hand with mage hand?
Sure.
Oh, 13.
Yep, he's holding Mage Hand now.
So, Droop over here says, well, you already know that. Wait,
He doesn't.
sorry. I lied. You don't. Droop says that they can lead us to the castle, and we are going to take them up on that lead.
Well, that's wonderful news. Suppose I should be sending word back to Neverwinter, then. That they'll need to send help this way.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Do you know where we can buy horse or rent horses?
Well, you can always check at Barthen's Provisions, where you dropped off the cart when we got into town. She may have something in stock.
Wait, can't we just take the horse that was pulling the cart with us on?
You had oxen pulling us here.
Oh,
And if you're looking for, I know these two were thinking of horses for if we went to Neverwinter later. I don't know how well the path is going to be for horses going to a castle.
I was just asking because it was brought out.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys had oxen pulling a cart on the way here.
Can I just get a saddle and hop on Fanya's back?
No.
Dang it.
Faenya is built like a deer and is small.
It's okay, Mars is petite and small too.
Also, she doesn't like that.
Droop is small too.
Mm.
Droop, you're not a part of this.
Oh.
Out of game conversation.
Yeah, Droop's not allowed now to character conversation.
Apparently, this trip to the castle might take a few days, so we also need to get some provisions for that.
Well, Barthen's has every general thing you could possibly need. So I would check there first.
Do they have a magic pouch?
You can ask her, but I would highly doubt it.
If you, Amaris, want to go get the provisions, we may also be able to see, because there was a couple bugbears that escaped when we were fighting them. There was or was it red brands that escaped?
I think it's red brands.
I think it was red brand.
Okay. We could then that may not be as important. Okay, no, never mind. I thought a bugbear escaped, but I think we got rid of all.
Yeah, I think there was only 2, and then you guys beat the hell out of it. But yeah, Amaris will go and get the provisions. How much would that be? We're talking 3 days for 4.5 people.
Faenya has 10 days worth of rations. So
Yeah, we all started out with 10.
Yeah.
Oh wait, how
and
much?
we've kind of been living off food from the inn.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The rations we have now should theoretically suffice us to go to this castle and back if we're not wandering aimlessly.
Yeah.
So if you want to buy any, it's 5 silver per 1 ration. And a ration will last you a day.
Okay, never mind. I have
I think we're
rations.
good.
Yeah,
You have 5 rations?
I have 10.
Okay. Yeah, because we can also, if we get very desperate, we can try to like forage in the woods for some food as well.
You're desperate.
Yeah, but again, if we don't find the castle within 5 days, then that'll be our
You
cut off.
might want to buy some rations. Because I'm not giving any of my extras to Droop.
fine. I'll buy.
Yeah, it's your 2 sons, so
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll buy an extra
Huh?
6 rations.
You're 2.
yeah,
I'll buy
adopted
another
them.
6 rations for Droop.
for goop.
Goop.
For Goop.
Sorry, Droop, you can't eat. This is all for the goop.
I'm not co-parenting Droop.
For
Yeah.
prosperity's sake, for those of you watching, Faenya can technically carry other players because she has equine build, but she doesn't want
But
to. That's not an invitation.
she's a pretty princess.
I bought the rations for Droop.
Droop can eat dandelions.
Better. That's your son, not mine.
He's not my son.
He's holding your hand. He's both your sons.
My mage
Get over
hand.
it. That's
He's
still
holding
part of
both of
you.
your guys'
La-di-da,
arms.
you
And
guys
swinging.
have a...
No. No.
1,
I
2,
do not consent.
All right. Is there anything else you guys do to spend time this day?
I've already filled up on food.
Yeah.
I'm pretty okay with setting out.
Yeah. Get as far into the woods as we can today.
Oh my, that was
Water's
terrifying.
Skins filled up with clean water.
What?
Kyle, you're like
Your camera
freezing a little
glitched
bit.
for a second.
Yeah.
And then,
Oh,
like,
it is raining,
caught up
so
all of a
it
sudden.
is messing. It might mess with my connection.
That's all right. Heading out? Is that what we're doing? Heading out at high noon?
It's
Yeah.
high noon. I set out my hunting trap and try to catch somebody with it.
Are you
It's
guys...
a bear trap in the middle
You
of the
guys
street.
aren't taking a cart. You're not taking horses or anything like that, right?
No, because
Faenya says it's a bad idea, so...
We're just going. on
I
our
just
feet,
don't know
sweeties.
if there's going to be a path or not. You can try.
I think it'll also be like it may take longer, but it'll also be quieter if we don't have horses. So we may be able to sneak up on the castle easier.
So as you guys head out of town, we kind of pan out and see our adventurers walking out of the town that they've been in for a couple of days now, getting rid of the red brand problem and Glassstaff, and off to find their comrade Gundren Rockseeker. And that's where we will wrap up tonight's session. Thank you all very much for joining us. And make sure you check out my players at their various socials. And keep sipping and rolling. We'll see you next time.
Skipping and rolling, baby.